Shalom. This is YAHAWAH with the GMS Dallas Camp. First off, I want to give all praises to YAHAWASHI, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and salutations to the Akim scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, keeping his word in truth and sincerity. I'm just going to do a video concerning this chapter I read in Jeremiah 15, Jeremiah 15. I'm going to start at verse 1. And jump around a little bit. Lord willing, get some other precepts. But I'm gonna start off verse 1, right? Jeremiah 15, verse 1. Then said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people, right? Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. So Most High said, man, even if Moses and Samuel stood before them, pretty much representing, what's the best way to say it? Pretty much if they were defending Israel and trying to plead their cause towards the Most High, pretty much the Most High is like, even if Moses and Samuel were defending them or whatever the case might be, even then, I still wouldn't change my mind towards these people, right? Like I said right there, yet my mind could not be towards this people. Okay, verse 2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? So if they ask, then what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such as are for death, to death, and such as for the sword, to the sword, and such as are for the famine, to the famine, and such as are for the captivity, to the captivity. Man, so pretty much they're going to be, put to death, put in captivity, to be destroyed, man. Like I said, such as are for death, to death. Verse 3. And I will appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord, the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy, man. So the Most Guy's going to send, all these plagues, man, all these curses, referring back to Deuteronomy chapter 8, starting at verse 15. The Most High is going to send all these plagues, it's death, all sorts of things, man. Verse 4. And I will cause them to be removed into all kingdoms of the earth, because of Manasseh the son of Hezekiah king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem, man. Yeah, man. And the Most High, the Most High requires that which is past, right? Referring back to Ecclesiastes. Israel went off worshiping different idols, right? Following after the ways of the heathen. You can even today, man. Israel is in a situation to where they just it's the worst that it can get, and it'll get even worse, man. If we keep living in this hell, man, if we keep living under the rule of these so-called white people, man, these Edomites, they continue to destroy our people, feed them bullshit ass food, contaminate the air, pollute the water. They cast evil for good and good for, right? Verse 5. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? As a matter of fact, I wanted to bring out a point, because it mentioned that during the time of Hezekiah, Manasseh, and here, Salaki. Yeah, right here, because of Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, right? This is the Gil commentary on Jeremiah 15, verse 4. Because of the idolatry and murder committed by him, and which were the more aggravated by having so good a parent and so religious and in education, and by his high office and dignity as king of Judah. And though these sins were personally forgiven him, yet being imitated and continued in by the Jews, captivity has threatened them, right? Because they turned not or were not converted as Manasseh. And so in the Talmud, because Manasseh repented and they did not, because this sense of worth. Actually, I think it was the first one I read, right? Let's see, the cost of which were their sins. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start right here, right? Their punishment is declared, which was resolved on, some for death, or the pestilence, others for the sword, others for the famine, others for the captivity, and others to be devoured by dogs and fowls and wild beasts, right? You know, this part is all a part of the curses. Now, let's see, Jeremiah 15:2. The cause of which were their sins, particularly their idolatry in the times of Manasseh, right? Jeremiah 15:4. Wherefore they should have no pity from men, nor would the Lord any more repent of the evil threatened, of which he was wary because of their many backslidings, right? Which destruction being determined is illustrated by a description of the instrument of it, by the multitude of widows and the distress of mothers bereaved of their children, on which the prophet takes up a complaint of his being born, for strifes and contention of his being cursed by the people, though no user of man's. You know, so Most High destroyed Israel, man. You know, it may be for the time of when, you know, during the time of Manasseh, it may be because of that or because of something else, you know, because like scripture say, man, they're gonna be judged for the things that their forefathers did, you know, roughly paraphrasing. You know, right now we in captivity for what we did back then. You know, being wicked, man, for worshiping different idols, man. We're gonna go back to that Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah 15. We'll read 4 again, right? And I will cause them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, which is what the Most High did, right? Because of Manasseh, the son of Hezekiah, king of Judah, for that which he did in Jerusalem. For who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? Thou hast forsaken me. Saith the Lord. Thou art gone backward. Therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary with repenting, man. Yeah, man. And that's what the Most High did. You know, we forsook the YAHAWASHI, man. We went backward, you know, we rebelled against the law, statutes, and commandments, and now this is that was our ruin. Verse 7, and I will fan them with a fan, in the gates of the land. I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways, man. You know, Most High is going to destroy us, man. You know, for that, for worshiping idols and committing all sorts of fornication, man. You know, and he described a little bit of what he was going to place on us, man. All this a little bit of them plagues and curses that was going to be put on us. You know, because the Most High warned us in Deuteronomy chapter 28. You know, and that's pretty much all I want to go into. You know, with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.